Hello from the National Weather Service in Missoula. This is your December 2025 climate update. We look at the current state of things, still under La Nina conditions that are ongoing. If you look at the sea surface temperature anomalies, you can see those colder than normal temperatures in the central and eastern equatorial Pacific Ocean. This graph down here shows the forecast sea surface temperature anomaly. You can see right now under weak La Nina conditions, shifting toward neutral conditions, a 68% chance of that transition during the January through March period of this coming year. Don't want to completely skip over the Christmas week forecast, but generally just an active pattern. We will have some periods of past level snow impacts. Valleys likely to see a wintry mix, may have some minor travel impacts at times, but overall, no big storms expected for the Christmas week, just some occasional travel impacts, mostly minor. If we look a bit further ahead, this is the 8 to 14 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center for December 28th through January 3rd. Definitely can see the wetter than normal and warmer than normal temperature trends there. Pretty persistent pattern for what we've been seeing with all the atmospheric rivers. One little clause to point out though, or two perhaps, there's a 20% chance of Arctic air working into northwest Montana around Christmas Eve, and a similar chance, 15 to 20% chance the first few days of January. So this would greatly increase snow and cold impacts. Once again, low probability, but worth watching. If we look at the hazards for that 8 to 14 day period, we have a moderate risk for heavy snow across the Northern Rockies and a moderate risk for high winds. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Once again, the main focus for the snow would be in the mountains and at pass level. Valleys, mostly just a wintry mix, perhaps some icy conditions in the evenings as the roads refreeze. Looking at the 3 to 4 week outlook, so basically the first half of January, boy, a broken record. Leaning wetter than normal across the Pacific Northwest, basically equal chances for the temperature. That kind of leads us to that continuing threat perhaps of more heavy rain and high wind issues we'll have to watch as this pattern is very representative of continued atmospheric rivers. And once again, just keep an eye along the divide. They definitely have some Arctic air episodes. Will those come over into western Montana, north central Idaho? Hard to say this far out, but we'll have to just keep an eye on it. So the January outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, that once again leaning above normal for precipitation. Most of the below normal temperatures are just east of the divide. For the January, February, March, pretty similar story. One little difference, we do have a slight leaning toward below normal temperatures across the Northern Rockies. Perhaps this would indicate an increased probability of Arctic air coming over the divide for the latter part of the winter. That's something to keep a watch on. So just to emphasize it one more time from a bit of a different angle. So this is the CFS long-range model for January. Precipitation anomalies, much wetter than normal as far as the predicted precipitation anomalies across the Pacific Northwest, Northern Rockies. And this is supported by the majority of the models that we do tend to look toward. And then above normal temperatures. For February, similar trend. You can see with both the precipitation and the temperature anomaly on the right-hand side, those warmer red colors showing above normal temperatures, predicted at least by this model, but once again by quite a few of the models. And then January, February, March, wow, it really stands out. Above normal precipitation, Pacific Northwest, perhaps equal chances to slightly above normal temperature anomalies. We kind of take a step back, just taking a peek at the mountain snowpack as of December 19th. You can see on the left-hand side, the state of Montana, anywhere from like 86% all the way up to, I think it's like 126%. I can't quite see the numbers really well, but pretty close to normal for the snow water equivalent in the snowpack. If we look at Idaho, more like 70-80% of normal, at least for north central Idaho. This middle graphic here are the same numbers, but the basins are smaller. So one thing it does kind of show though is that the mid-elevation snowtails are tending to lag behind because of all the rain on snow events we've had lately, and that's even more emphasized as we look at this water year to date percent of average for precipitation. So across parts of north central Idaho, around 100%, but other areas are 120, 130%, all the way up above 150% of normal for parts of northwest Montana. So you can definitely see we've had the normal to above normal precipitation, but the snowpack is lagging a bit behind, at least for those mid-elevation snowtells. Here's a summary of what we've talked through. Won't go over those again, but check those out if you like. And here are some resources to look into. So hopefully this was a useful resource, and thank you for listening.